Republicans have run on repealing and replacing Obamacare cycle after cycle after cycle now. How much validity is there to that argument? You hear about all the changes being proposed. Was this legislation ready for prime time?
Absolutely. And as you rightly suggest, I mean, I used to be criticized as leader for running across repeal bills 50-some times when I was there. But what was missing then is what is in place now is the fact that there is a president in the White House who is going to sign this bill, a repeal bill and a replacement mechanism. So it's that sort of sense that wasn't there before, but all the issues were certainly discussed. And so what's going on now is not dislike so many other times in a legislative process where you've got to listen to folks, try and coalesce them, and take their input to come up with the final result.
What is Congressman Scalise doing right now? We heard Representative Blackburn praising his work here, whipping this bill before it gets to the House floor. What does that look like? You've been there. Peel back the curtain. Tell us what's going on.
I served as whip, and certainly as Kevin McCarthy is now as leader, and understand the entire whip team and the entire leadership is in gear, all in, throttle down in this stage in the process. But what else is a differentiator now is we have a Republican in the White House. Republicans haven't had that in over 8 years now because President Obama was there. The Republicans were always the out party. It is President Trump and his efforts putting his shoulder into the wheel, along with Vice President Mike Pence, that will make the difference this time. And that's why you see the White House so engaged on this.
On that point, I was struck by something after the president went up to Capitol Hill, addressed the Republican caucus. You had members of the House Freedom Caucus saying, this isn't about the president. If it were about the president, I could change my views on this, but it is something bigger than that. How big an obstacle is that to the president, to the vice president, to House Speaker Paul Ryan?
Well, I mean, it is the beauty of our system where there's so many checks and balances, but by the very essence of our electoral presidential system where we have members of the legislative branch that are elected by approximately 750,000 individuals in their home districts, or at least that's how many people live in their districts, and that is a check on them. So yes, I believe that they want to follow the president of the United States, a Republican president, but again, they take into consideration the concerns of their district, which is, again, this give and take that manifests itself in the legislative process.